In 2025, king crabs are treated like cabbage, and Rolexes are selling for the price of scrap metal. From overflowing seafood markets to empty luxury boutiques, China is facing a terrifying consumption freeze. Why are rich people selling their Hermes bags for cash? And why are wholesalers dumping tons of food? You're watching The China Reality, where we bring you timely analysis and grounded perspectives on today's China. Who wants to work in seafood? I'm done. Oh my goodness. Look at this mountain of king crabs. Once they run out of oxygen, they're worthless as cabbage. No one wants them. Can anyone teach me how to move this stock faster? Who can help me? Selling is impossible, and I'm drowning in inventory. Look at these massive piles. After the 2025 Mid-Autumn Festival, China's seafood market suffered a rare crash. Prices plummeted instantly, making high-end items like king crabs, hairy crabs, and blue crabs unsellable. Major wholesale markets in Qingdao, Ningbo, and Wuhan are clogged with mountains of unsold goods. Wholesalers watching their overflowing cold storage had no choice but to dump tons of seafood. It was a heartbreaking scene. The market is paralyzed. It's a total crash. No cash. No sales, no customers. Everything is falling apart. This single truck just lost over 20,000 yuan. Look at this place. There's almost no one here. This is Dalian's biggest wholesale market. See anyone? Seafood is dead right now. Every business that could shut down has already shut down. Guys, it's empty. No people, no goods. Just silence. In 2025, major markets saw rare price fluctuations, especially in the third quarter when prices kept crashing. Markets nationwide saw significant declines, with some high-end producers losing half their value. According to tracking data, the National Seafood Wholesale Price Index dropped 5 to 10% year-on-year in the 40th week, while shrimp and crab prices plummeted even further by 20 to 30%. In Qingdao, blue crab prices dropped from 30 yuan per pound pre-holiday to just 10 yuan. South American white shrimp fell from 50 to 25 yuan. In Ningbo, pomfret plummeted from 1,000 yuan to 500. Did you notice shrimp is ridiculously cheap today? Fresh shrimp is under 20 yuan, and crayfish is under 10. But the cheaper it gets, the fewer people buy. Store owners and farmers are panic-stricken. Why? It's not that people don't want shrimp, they're terrified to eat it. First, supply is overwhelming. In the last 2 years, shrimp production has exploded. Rice shrimp farming and new production zones are piling it up. Pre-made meal factories hoard it, and frozen shrimp tails clog cold storage. Rumor has it one factory's stock could feed a city for 6 months. A price war is raging, just like Pinduoduo. Whoever is cheapest dies first. Second, chemical soaking is out of control. You think you're buying meat, but it's chemical water. A pound of shrimp can hold 2 ounces of extra water. A March scandal exposed factories adding phosphates 145% over the limit. Eating half a kilo of shrimp is like ingesting 20 grams of phosphates. Consuming this damages bones and hearts and causes hair loss. The worst part, labels just say water added. Bloggers highlighted drug abuse in China's shrimp industry, admitting heavy medication use. Many farmers refuse to eat their own shrimp. They feed antibiotics directly to the stock. And some even use banned substances like malachite green and chloramphenicol. Exposing this abuse worsens struggling sales, leading to tons of seafood being trashed daily. Reports indicate that after a 2024 shortage caused by high heat, fishery production rebounded in 2025 as the climate normalized and farming techniques improved. Crabs, shrimp, and shellfish flooded the market, spiking supply instantly. Meanwhile, expanded offshore fisheries in places like Wuhan boosted catch volume by 15%. Additionally, imports of high-end seafood like Russian king crabs and South American shrimp surged 30%, causing a glut of squid and ribbonfish. This dramatic fluctuation isn't just a short-term imbalance. It reflects the economic winter China faces. On the surface, oversupply seems to cause the crash. But in reality, weak demand is the true culprit driving prices down. In early 2025, consumer confidence tanked, youth unemployment soared, and the middle class struggled. Hopes that the Mid-Autumn Festival would boost sales vanished. Within a week, prices dropped 20%. The wave of restaurant closures in China's food service sector also fueled the decline. As a high-priced category, seafood was hit hardest. Tracking data showed many high-end buffets and restaurants closing down. People switched to cheaper alternatives like pork and chicken. However, pork prices, already spiraling downward since August, continued to fall. The nightmare for pig farmers returned. Pork prices collapsed across 20 provinces. Just yesterday, the national average for live pigs fell to 12.4 yuan per kilogram. Looking nationwide, over 20 provinces saw drops, with only a few stabilizing. I wake up at 3 a.m. every day to open the stall. But for what? The market is a ghost town. My crabs are dying in the tank. And my savings are dying with them. People walk by, look at the price, and shake their heads. They don't have money. I don't have money. We are all just sinking together. It's mostly small rises and massive drops. Recently, China's economy faced unprecedented pressure, with many industries down-earning. Besides price crashes in vegetables and seafood, sectors like home appliances, luxury goods, and furniture are also buckling under bankruptcies and sales losses. The appliance industry is enduring a super cold wave. Latest data shows September air conditioner sales plummeted 38%, with production dropping sharply for 2 months. Why the sudden slowdown? 3 reasons. First, housing sales are sluggish, so no one is renovating. Demand naturally drops. Second, raw material costs soared, with copper rising 10,000 points, crushing profits. Third, overseas markets cooled, leaving warehouses full. This cold wave spread to the plastic industry, with demand for materials like ABS also falling. The fourth quarter looks bleak. Business is brutal. Last year I lost my store. This year I'm losing to competitors. A fellow from my hometown, a Tongsheng appliance veteran, can't hold on. He's stuck with over 100,000 yuan of inventory and no way out. Even at rock-bottom prices, nothing moves. We're finished. Done for after subsidies ended. Customers don't believe my prices anymore. They think the subsidy is fake. What can I do? Last month was a disaster. And this month looks worse. Customers come to look at the products, but even when we offer them the absolute lowest price, they still don't believe it. What do we do? If this continues, we are done for. In 2025, China's domestic home appliance industry is facing an unprecedented crisis. In past years, the market reached saturation, facing dual pressure from upgrading consumer concepts and massive oversupply. Although the rise of smart homes and green appliances drove some demand, this shift failed to bring sufficient growth momentum. Instead, it intensified market competition, particularly in first- and second-tier cities. Overall demand for home appliances has hit a ceiling, while new purchasing interest has decreased. Meanwhile, consumers in third- and fourth-tier cities have limited purchasing power, leaving overall market demand weak. On top of this, rising raw material prices and labor costs have added pressure on appliance companies. Many small and medium-sized businesses are struggling to survive in this increasingly competitive environment. If appliance sales reflect the basic living needs of ordinary families, then luxury sales aimed at the wealthy reflect high-end capacity driven by social wealth. However, when appliance consumption continues to decline, it usually means the middle class's purchasing power is shrinking and living standards are falling. However, a crash in luxury consumption represents shrinking wealth and collapsing confidence among the high-income group. You won't believe this. Rolex Daytona watches dropped from 320,000 yuan to 180,000, yet no one is buying. Hermes Birkin bags lost 40% of their second-hand value in just a single week. After a decade of luxury frenzies, it's finally over. The once must-have Birkin bags, which required a million yuan purchase history to access, are now labeled urgent sale on second-hand platforms. These iconic luxury items are fading fast, turning back into ordinary leather goods and steel watches. The Rolex and Hermes crash was inevitable. The Rolex Submariner series dropped 55% from its peak, and the green gold Daytona has fallen below retail price. Watch dealers are crying, claiming that selling a single watch now results in a loss equivalent to a Tesla. The classic gold Hermes Birkin dropped from 250,000 to 140,000 yuan, and seasonal colors like cherry blossom pink have halved in value. Second-hand stores refuse them like toxic assets. The worst off are speculators in Wenzhou, where bag speculation was rampant. Many now face massive losses. I thought I was smart. I treated handbags like stocks. I bought 8 Crocodile Kellys, thinking they were my retirement fund. Now, they are worthless leather. I lost enough money to buy an entire building. The rich aren't buying, the poor can't buy. And I am left holding the bag, literally. One speculator who hoarded 8 crocodile leather Kelly bags now faces losses that could buy a building in a third-tier city. In 2025, the luxury industry faces an unprecedented downturn, with sales dropping 50% to 60%. The post-2000 generation is the main consumer force, but they aren't buying big brands anymore. They value unique designs and emotional connection. The middle class is tightening wallets, and only top-tier VIPs are still buying. Faced with this crisis, luxury brands adjusted strategies, slashing annual growth targets from 50% to 10%. While popular items are rarely discounted, entry-level products are flooding the market. Pressure is shifting to the North American market. Although the industry still retains high-end consumers, it shows a significant overall decline. In recent years, as social wealth shrinks and economic pressure rises, many consumers are either unwilling or unable to spend. Luxury demand has sharply decreased, especially among younger Chinese. More people are abandoning the emotional value of luxury for cost-effectiveness and practicality. As youth adopt the lying flat lifestyle, they manage finances cautiously amidst the downturn, leaving little budget for luxury purchases. From high-end consumption to daily routines, the chill is spreading across every economic sector. If the luxury slump reflects contraction among high-income groups, the cliff-like collapse in the furniture and home industry exposes the harsh truth of this sector's cold reality. I'm done. I'm closing the doors. After years in the furniture business, this year is the hardest. Orders are vanishing, and inventory is piling up. Every day brings new expenses. The pressure is unbearable. Why was this year's National Day so terrible? 3 key figures reveal the truth. On the last day of the National Day holiday, many dealers reported sales worse than a regular weekend. Some made 0 sales. Are we not trying hard enough? 80% of listed home furnishing companies see declining performance. Vacancy rates in traditional malls surpass 35%, and 68% of dealers are losing money. The furnishing and materials industry has entered a deep reshuffling phase. It's not a lack of effort or skill. The industry has undergone a massive shift. On July 27th, Wang Pan, a prominent home furnishing boss, fell from a building. On July 24th, Li Lian, the industry's richest man, was detained for investigation. On July 17th, the principal of a Guangzhou furnishing company jumped after leaving a note. Sorry everyone. On May 12th, the boss of Red Star Macaline was placed under investigation for 3 months. 4 top industry figures have died or been injured. What is this once promising sector going through? Many predicted this direction, but no one expected the collapse to be so fast and violent. Wang Lin's tragic end was so abrupt it caught everyone off guard. Just days after his release from detention, this once ambitious leader, known for his 100 billion yuan plan, ended it all. Absurdly, the day he was detained, he was playing cards with friends. His company was still promoting his grand vision to build Beijing's largest EV delivery center and bring AI to every home. They were the kings of the industry. They built empires, promised billions, and taught us how to succeed. Now, one is in jail, one jumped from a roof, and the other is dead. If the giants are falling like dominoes, what chance do we small players have? These giants who wanted to rewrite the rules became sacrifices to them. Last month, they taught others how to break through. Today, they are the ones breaking. Last month, they were survivors. This month, they are scandal-ridden. Perhaps this is China's most tragic industry. China has countless furniture companies, with many SMEs surviving via price competition. As demand declines, price wars intensify, squeezing profit margins. Meanwhile, fluctuating raw material prices, rising labor costs, and increasing logistics fees have further crushed the survival space for these small and medium-sized enterprises. To maintain cash flow, many companies offer deep discounts and sell stock at a loss. This doesn't solve fundamental problems. It further damages the industry's prospects. For the past 20 years, China's furniture market was seen as one of the fastest-growing industries. For years, the furniture industry was tied to the real estate market, riding its boom. But as China's real estate sector falters, the furniture industry now faces an unprecedented impact, especially over the last 2 years. With construction halted, fewer homes completed, and unfinished buildings piling up, furniture demand plummeted. Companies are stuck with inventory, broken cash flow, and slashed margins. Numerous major furniture firms have now encountered severe debt crises. Overwhelmed giants chose extreme actions. From unsold seafood to the appliance slump. From devalued luxury goods to the furniture collapse, this consumer freeze reveals a harsh truth. The chill of China's economy is spreading to every corner of ordinary life. Seafood, appliances, furniture, and luxury goods are crashing simultaneously. This isn't just a temporary cycle. It reflects weakening economic momentum, low consumer confidence, supply imbalances, and deep structural pressures. The 2025 Chinese market isn't just facing an isolated crisis. It is a systemic winter freezing livelihoods, manufacturing, and societal wealth.